Students, faculty, and staff went into a brief moment of panic on Tuesday, November 1st, when Towson University police reported that a man with a gun had been spotted on campus. Those subscribed to the university's emergency messaging system or sent text messages and emails updating them on the situation. Within the hour, police were able to identify the suspect as a student headed to an acting class with a fake gun as a prop.
There's nothing at all to indicate, and when you put the clip in, that looks like a fully functioning firearm.
Whether they were in their dorm rooms, in class, or outside, students were informed of the incident in various ways.
I got a text message right before I walked out of my dorm, and I kind of had to think twice before leaving, and then I decided I was going to go to class and make the trip, but then they actually wouldn't let me leave my building, which was safe of them, and I appreciated it. So then I figured, all right, cool, I don't have class today.
I was actually in class, and I was in Van Bachlen, and all of a sudden we heard like the announcement outside, but nobody knew what it was, so everyone was like, oh, what was that? That's really weird. And then somebody said, I just got a text message, there's a gunman on campus.
I was in the middle of changing classes at that point, so I was walking to the library and some lady came out of the library telling us to get in and be safe.
I looked out the window and I saw a girl just walking outside, and I'm like, is she oblivious to the fact that there could be a gunman walking around on campus? And it was pretty scary. That would scare me.
Everyone was like kind of confused, like there's someone with a gun, really? Like, is it serious? And then everybody got like really nervous and started panicking and like freaking out about everything. And we were like, should we lock the door? Should we hide? Like, what should we do? Because we didn't know like how severe it was or anything like that.
And then at 1:43 we sent the update, because the first thing that people want to know is, okay, you've told me of the emergency, now what should I do? And we want to just make sure that everybody knew to stay, if you were in someplace safe, stay there. And by 1:43, we had located the individual, and at 1:46, we sent out the message that everything was okay, all's clear.
Junior theater major Marina Ybarra described her experience seeing the suspect apprehended by Towson University police.
So we got into the costume shop, which is, part of the theater department, and there's lots of open windows. And one of the costume professors was like, "Do you guys see that guy that was kind of walking around?" And the professor was like, "That guy, he has a gun." She's like, "It's a toy gun, isn't it?" Because apparently she could distinguish between what was going on, that it was actually a toy gun. And we're like, and then people got really freaked out, like, is it a toy gun? Because at this point, no one knew what the whole status of anything. And she was like, oh my God, someone tell a police officer, because the police officers were walking around at this time. And she's like, oh my God. So she's the one that made the call that was like, there's a student out here with a prop, or we didn't even know if it was a prop gun. There was there's a male here with a toy gun or a gun of some sort. And then that's when we realized, oh my God, it's a fake. This whole scare was a fake. And I'm not saying it doesn't take away from the seriousness of the issue, but it was oh.
So we had to find out what we had. We had to treat it very seriously. We had to act as though it was someone with a real gun, and we didn't know what their intentions were. And that's why we did the notifications. That's why we did all the searching, and thankfully it turned out to be the lesser of the evils, that it was a person going to a theater class.
I guess he didn't think it would be that serious of an issue, because I guess in acting it's okay to hold a prop like that. And I guess most acting people don't think about things like that. They just think it's okay, it's just for a class, it shouldn't be a big deal.
Students had mixed feelings about the university and police's response to the incident.
They did really well. I'm appreciative of the text message system, because it let me know what was happening immediately, and then 15 minutes later they let us know the area that it was in, and then another 10 or 15 minutes later they said that everything was resolved. So they did their jobs very well, and it was pretty good.
I'm signed up for the text messaging and emails, and I didn't get anything, which is weird because everybody else got it, but I didn't get anything, and I normally do, so I thought that was weird.
I felt safe getting the text messages because it kept us constantly knowing what was going on.
After I found out, I said, well, that's interesting, and I went back to doing my homework. To be honest, I felt safe enough to be like, I'll do it.
Well, I don't know, I didn't really take it too seriously. I felt safe just because I know they're all around, and so they handled it, and they had the person, and they were letting us know throughout the incident, so I felt like they handled it pretty well.
I think they handled it well. I feel like I wasn't that informed, but I was in my dorm room, so there wasn't loudspeakers or anything. I feel like if I wasn't, I would have been more informed of what was going on.
I just think that the police should have been a little more careful with because they made it a huge deal, and it turned out that it really wasn't that big of a deal because it was just for a class. I mean, it's good that they're being over cautious, but I feel like they need to make sure that they know what's going on before they make everybody go crazy.
All these alerts for nothing, but I guess it's better to have alerts than nothing.
Well, from my understanding, they got it corrected and over with pretty fast. So yeah, I mean, they got my faith.
We write up the report and we'll send it to Student Affairs, and then it's up to them to do what they choose to do with it. We don't foresee any kind of criminal charges. Based on the information we have at this time, it doesn't look like there was any intention to commit any kind of a crime with that. This is purely a conduct issue.
Reporting for the Tower Light, I'm Editor-in-Chief Lauren Slavin.